The story of Meguri begins not with grand gestures, but with a quiet determination that already hints at something extraordinary. Picture a young teacher, fresh from her studies, stepping into a school as part of her teaching internship. Meguri is the kind of person whose energy doesn't shout, it invites. She has a natural warmth, a cheerful smile, and a curiosity about the world that immediately makes people feel welcome. For her, teaching isn't just about following a curriculum or checking off boxes. It's about connecting with students, understanding them as individuals, and finding those small moments that leave a lasting mark. From the moment she enters her new classroom, there is a sense of anticipation. The students are cautious at first, curious about the new face who is now responsible for guiding them. Some wonder if she will be like other teachers, strict, distant, perhaps even intimidating. But Meguri carries no pretense. She walks into the room with the confidence of someone who knows that learning is not just about lessons and tests. It's about relationships, empathy, and encouragement. She greets each student with a smile, asks questions not to test them, but to understand them, and listens to their stories with genuine interest. The initial days are filled with subtle observations. Meguri notices the way certain students hesitate to speak up, the way others thrive in small group activities, the way some seem invisible in the crowded classroom. She doesn't just see behaviors. She sees emotions, motivations, and untapped potential. In her heart, she understands that a positive learning environment is built on trust, attention, and mutual respect. And so, she quietly begins to lay the foundation for something remarkable, not through rules or strict schedules, but through presence, engagement, and care. Rather than starting with traditional lectures, Meguri decides to spend time observing her students during their free periods, during lunch breaks, and even as they move between classes. She notices how they interact with each other, how some struggle to find their place, and how moments of laughter often appear in the most unexpected ways. She starts to join them, not as an authority figure, but as a friend, a participant in their games and conversations. There is a natural ease in this approach. Students who were once shy begin to open up. Those who were hesitant to engage now share stories and jokes. And Meguri, in turn, feels a joy that is rare, a satisfaction that goes beyond academic achievement. There's something deeply human in this initial connection. It is not flashy or dramatic. It is the simple yet profound realization that teaching is more than instruction. It is nurturing growth, fostering curiosity, and building confidence. Meguri learns almost instinctively that students respond to authenticity. They respond to someone who sees them, who values their presence, who treats them as individuals capable of meaningful thought and action. These early days are not without challenges. Some students test boundaries. Some question why a teacher would engage in games instead of standing apart, and some are simply shy. But Meguri doesn't see this as a problem. She sees an opportunity. She understands that the trust she builds now will shape their experience of learning for months, maybe years to come. At the end of her first week, Meguri returns home, tired but exhilarated. She shares small anecdotes with her family, moments of laughter, acts of kindness between students, tiny breakthroughs where a child finally raises their hand or shares a story. These stories are not just about teaching. They are about life, about seeing the world through fresh eyes, about understanding the importance of connection. For Meguri, the classroom is not simply a space for imparting knowledge. It is a place of shared humanity, where joy and learning coexist, where inspiration is found in the smiles and curiosity of her students. Even in these first few days, it becomes clear that Meguri is not just teaching her students. She is learning from them as well. Their enthusiasm, their honesty, their moments of doubt and courage, all remind her why education matters. It is a living, breathing experience, and she is right in the middle of it, learning how to guide without controlling, to encourage without judging, and to inspire without demanding. The foundation is set. Meguri's journey has begun, quietly, but with a promise of transformation, not just for herself, but for every student she encounters. As Meguri settled into her routine, the classroom began to transform in ways she had quietly hoped for, but never fully anticipated. What started as small smiles and hesitant greetings blossomed into laughter, playful debates, and shared moments of curiosity. The excitement in the classroom wasn't just about learning lessons from books. It was about the joy of participating, of being seen, and of discovering that learning could be fun, relatable, and deeply human. One day, during a particularly lively lunch break, Meguri noticed a group of students huddled in the corner, hesitating to join the games. Without hesitation, she approached them, not as a teacher telling them what to do, but as a friend inviting them into the moment. There was a pause, a mix of surprise and uncertainty, before shy smiles began to appear. Within minutes, those same students were laughing, cheering, and fully immersed in the activity. For them, this was more than play. It was a moment of belonging, an affirmation that they mattered, and that their presence was valued. Meguri watched quietly, feeling a swell of happiness. What made these interactions remarkable wasn't just the games themselves, but the subtle shifts in the students' energy. The quiet ones became more vocal, the hesitant ones more confident, and even the naturally outgoing students seemed to flourish in an atmosphere where creativity and collaboration were encouraged rather than forced. Meguri understood that excitement isn't simply about entertainment. It is a catalyst for engagement, curiosity, and meaningful learning. By participating alongside her students, she modeled that joy and commitment can coexist with education, that lessons can be absorbed more deeply when students are genuinely engaged. Over the next weeks, Meguri experimented with creative approaches in the classroom. She turned math exercises into friendly competitions, invited students to share stories related to their lessons, and encouraged group discussions that allowed each voice to be heard. With every activity, she observed the students' eyes light up not out of pressure or fear, but out of genuine interest. She noticed that learning became less about memorization and more about understanding, discovery, and personal connection. This was her guiding principle. When students feel valued and engaged, learning naturally becomes more profound and enjoyable. The classroom soon became a space where excitement and learning intertwined seamlessly. Students began to arrive early, eager to participate in discussions, help one another, and share their own insights. Even students who had once struggled with confidence began to take small risks answering questions aloud, presenting their work, or volunteering to lead a group. Meguri recognized that these moments of courage were far more meaningful than any grade or test score. She realized that fostering excitement in learning required more than enthusiasm. It required patience, attentiveness, and the ability to adapt to each child's needs and personality. Even the most inspiring journeys faced challenges, and Meguri encountered moments that tested her patience, resilience, and commitment. While her students thrived in her engaging, playful classroom, some colleagues worried that her unconventional methods might blur authority or undermine discipline. Meguri listened thoughtfully, explaining how students became more confident, motivated, and collaborative, sharing stories of small but meaningful breakthroughs. She understood that not everyone would be convinced immediately and embraced resistance as part of pioneering change. Within the classroom, some students hesitated to engage, but Meguri created gentle opportunities for inclusion, observing carefully and celebrating small victories. She faced moments of self-doubt, questioning whether her approach struck the right balance between connection and structure. Yet witnessing students' laughter, curiosity, and growth renewed her determination, reminding her why she chose this path. Through these trials, her classroom became a space for life lessons, resilience, empathy, patience, and courage. Her journey proved that challenges, met with care and wisdom, strengthen bonds, foster learning, and demonstrate that connection and high standards can thrive together. By the time Meguri's teaching internship drew toward its later stages, the classroom had evolved into a space alive with energy, curiosity, and collaboration. What had started as hesitant smiles and small interactions had blossomed into a community where students felt safe, confident, and inspired to engage fully not just in lessons, but in their own growth. By taking the time to understand each student as an individual, she had fostered trust, respect, and a sense of belonging. She realized that education is not merely about imparting knowledge. It is about nurturing hearts, encouraging curiosity, and helping young minds see their own potential. While her approach emphasized joy, creativity, and engagement, she learned that structure and principles remain vital. The classroom thrives when enthusiasm and discipline coexist, when rules guide rather than restrict, and when freedom is paired with responsibility. Meguri discovered that change often invites doubt, and that innovation in education requires courage, persistence, and open-mindedness. By listening, reflecting, and demonstrating results through action rather than words alone, she modeled a lesson far more enduring than any textbook could offer. Meguri's classroom became a place where curiosity was celebrated, laughter was encouraged, and accomplishments large or small were acknowledged. She showed that education thrives when students feel seen, valued, and supported. The smiles she witnessed were not superficial. They were expressions of confidence, engagement, and self-discovery. As her internship came to a close, Meguri reflected on the journey with a sense of fulfillment. She had learned as much from her students as they had from her. Her story is a testament to the power of kindness, dedication, and thoughtful innovation in education. Meguri's journey reminds us all that, with passion, empathy, and dedication. One person can inspire countless others, shaping a brighter, more hopeful future.